You are a first responder called to help put out a raging forest fire, the result of a severe drought. Fueled by dry conditions and gusts of wind, the fire is quickly encircling you, but you have no idea until you see a line of flame racing through the brush. You flee to safety and survive, but it was close, and you spend several days recovering from smoke inhalation. This scenario is common, as people are often unaware the surrounding air is harmful. Let's reimagine the situation. You are a first responder putting out a forest fire. This time, you are not only relying on fire towers to track the flame's movement, but drones circle overhead, equipped with particle and infrared sensors, collecting data on the fire's progression and intensity, transmitting information to your team in real time. The danger is detected early, and the best escape path is plotted for your team. No one is injured. Mainstream news reporting highlights the ugly side of drones in war, safety and security threats, cyber attacks, drug smuggling, and privacy issues. Those concerns are valid, but there is another perspective. Drones are transforming society in a positive direction, particularly in the sciences. At a career explorations event hosted by Cornell University, I witnessed drones helping farmers monitor the overall health of different crops. It was fascinating to see how much drones can make farming more efficient, and I began to wonder, how can these machines be useful in other fields and situations? Drones have really evolved and taken off in recent years. Often referred to as unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, drones are remotely controlled vehicles driven by a controller on the ground and some form of wireless communication, usually radio signals. Depending on their mission, they vary in size and are equipped with different payloads. Payloads refer to the equipment attached to the drone, such as sensors and digital or thermal cameras. Drones are powered most often by battery, but also by gas, hydrogen, and solar power. So how are drones being used to benefit society today? Let's start with disaster management. From hurricanes to earthquakes to volcanic eruptions, drones can help assist with search and rescue operations, damage assessment, delivering supplies, and monitoring refugee migrations. In 2005, drones were used to help look for lost survivors of Hurricane Katrina in Mississippi. Medical delivery. Drones can deliver medicine, such as blood preservations and vaccines quickly, which is helpful when delivering to remote areas. According to an article by the National Library of Medicine, researchers during the COVID-19 pandemic began exploring the possibility of using drones to deliver and return COVID-19 tests to families in remote areas. In 2020, the government of Ghana partnered with Zipline, a drone delivery company, to transport 2,537 COVID-19 samples from 10 different districts to the Kumasai Center for Collaborative Research via drones. Infrastructure inspection. Drones can inspect bridges, pipelines, and power lines. When equipped with thermal cameras, they allow for fast detection and correction of methane leaks and can monitor solar and wind installations. The Environmental Defense Fund uses drones to detect leaks in reservoirs and water distribution centers. Oil and gas company Neptune Energy is currently working with the Environmental Defense Fund to measure methane emissions offshore oil and gas facilities. Neptune Energy has lowered its emission intensity to 0.02%. Archaeological research. Drones can monitor historical sites without damaging existing artifacts. When equipped with mapping software, they can create 3D models of historical sites to analyze the spatial relationships between different features. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania are working in Iraq to capture the layout of the Lagash settlement in Mesopotamia. Farming. Farmers use drones to get a bird's eye view of their field, identify pests, and determine the best time to plant and harvest crops. The drone service company Teranis, started in Israel in 2015, uses drones to capture sub-millimeter resolution images of contracted fields. These images are then analyzed to track infectious diseases, weed invasions, and crop nutrition deficiencies. Wildlife conservations. They can track and monitor endangered species to address threats, such as poaching and habitat loss. Researchers at the Ocean Alliance, a Massachusetts-based conservation organization, used drones to capture the spray from a whale's blowhole. They then analyzed the collected DNA to study the whale's microbiome, stress, and pregnancy hormones. Collecting data remotely is far more efficient than the traditional pole tagging, as it allows the research boat to keep a far distance of up to 1,600 feet from the whale, as to not disturb it or other whales potentially nearby. Drones have even proved their usefulness in air quality testing. Mark Hilpert at the Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory uses drones to measure air pollution emitted by industrial smokestacks. Drones enable scientists to gather data about pollution at different altitudes to study how pollutants disperse into the environment. Without drones, it would be difficult and dangerous to gather this kind of data. The drone flies over the smokestacks at approximately 400 feet to gather samples for lab analysis. Most of what we know about air pollution is based on ground-level data, but that's not where many of the emissions are happening, says Hilpert. Drones are transforming the environmental sciences and industries across the world. As research tools, they can be used safely and inexpensively to gather data in remote or difficult-to-reach areas, such as glaciers or coral reefs. Where once scientists could only observe the Earth from above using manned aircraft satellites or balloons, today they are expanding, developing, and refining their research because of the aerial footage provided by drones. While there are clear advantages to the application of drones across many fields, there are two pressing challenges: public safety considerations and the fear of drones. For example, Amazon has been looking to adopt drone delivery for around 10 years, but has faced regulatory challenges such as airspace, weather conditions, and noise. Delivery drones must be capable of navigating obstacles in urban settings, facing weather conditions such as harsh winds, and avoiding technical failures. A malfunction can lead to a crash and serious property damage. Federal regulators are currently reviewing and giving recommendations to make commercial drone operation easier. A 2022 research study on human-drone interaction during the delivery of medical supplies, published by PLOS1, showed that many people in a variety of countries were concerned about receiving needed medical supplies if it meant physically interacting with a drone. Fear is a result of technological novelty. As researcher Fane Greenwood says, there is a lack of public familiarity with drones, as the average person cannot identify this distinction between a cheap consumer drone and a massively expensive Reaper UAS used in the military. Our knowledge gap is reinforced by the media portraying drones as much more intelligent and dangerous than they actually are. How can we combat this distrust? We can spread awareness like I'm doing today and give people time to shift their mindset and grow more accepting of drones. When the iPhone came out in 2007, many people were fearful that the wireless waves were toxic and would cause brain cancer. What was then a dangerous technology is now universally accepted. Many university-based research teams are working to improve drone safety. MIT researchers created an algorithm to help prevent mid-air collisions. A team of engineers at Caltech developed a program called NeutralFly, which analyzes flying data and instructs the drones to respond to current weather conditions, such as harsh winds. I imagine some of you have operated a drone, and after doing all this research, I wanted to give it a try. I purchased a drone on Amazon for less than $40, the DEE RC D20 mini drone. Simple. It took a little getting used to the drone's high reactivity to the controller, but after a few tries, I got a feel for steering. SRDS uses drones to create models of the campus buildings in 3D and to take pictures and videos to market the school. At Cornell's Agri-Tech Center, I talked to a PhD student who described his research goal to me as, if a farmer wakes up one morning and doesn't want to spend their day working outside in the fields, they can instead just sit down at a desk, put on VR goggles, and use a drone to walk or fly remotely through their fields. If they want to inspect a certain crop, they can zoom in to get a 3D view of every leaf. That is so cool. Drones are easy to operate, versatile, cost-effective, and environmentally friendly tools for moving goods. They have a lot going for them. According to McKinsey & Company, delivering a 1-pound burrito with a drone that weighs 5 to 25 pounds generates far less emissions than the average car, which weighs 4,100 pounds. Drones are more than trendy gadgets featured in Super Bowl ads. I predict they will continue to have a growing presence in our lives in future years. Like Wi-Fi, the iPhone, voice assistants, and artificial intelligence, drones are one of the most important technologies of our time. Someday, you might be walking home to your apartment, and not only are your ears met with the loud honking horns of ground traffic, but a buzzing overhead as drones swiftly deliver medical supplies and other packages. One might even be carrying the toothbrush you ordered a few hours ago on your lunch break. As you walk further, you see a team of UAVs pinpointing a gas leak in the sewer system, allowing for speedy repair. On a massive billboard in front of you, a map pops up showing the latest reports on air quality across the city, all collected by drones. The AQI, or Air Quality Index, in your neighborhood is at a low of 32. It looks like you will be going on your evening walk. As J.K. Rowling says, we do not need magic to change the world. We carry all the power we need inside ourselves already. We have the power to imagine better. Imagine a better world with drones. Thank you.